up, Taters? This is Tree from treeoflogic.com. So I wanted to give you all an update on the shutdown and what happened and why are the liberals big mad. I mean, they really, really mad. They mad at the Democrats, honey. So I was like, maybe I should do a video about that. And so I got a couple of responses, not a whole bunch of responses, because I'm not trying to be here all night long. But it's enough to give you an idea that, the Democrats, libtards, the commies, they not happy. They not happy with the Democrats right now. So without further ado, let's get this up. I found a news network that's pretty short and to the point because everybody's like spending 10, 20 minutes talking about this situation, and it really doesn't take that long. So check this out.
The longest government shutdown in American history could be nearing its end. We're glad you're with us. I'm Kim Christensen.
And I'm Phil Lipoff. Tonight, the Senate got the 60 votes it needs to advance this legislation to end the shutdown. That was only a procedural vote, though. It hasn't passed the chamber just yet. Small group of moderate Democrats solidified a deal with Republicans. The agreement would fund certain departments through next fall and include a continuing resolution to fund the rest of the government at existing spending levels through January 30th. It would also fully fund SNAP food benefits through next September. And the deal would reverse President Trump's attempted layoffs of federal workers during the shutdown. But in a major concession from Democrats, it would not include an extension of expiring Affordable Care Act subsidies. That's really what the entire shutdown has been about. Allowing tax credits to lapse will raise insurance premiums for millions of Americans. Instead, the Democrats settled for a promise that the Senate will vote on a bill to extend the subsidies by next month.
Both of Colorado's senators, Democrats John Hickenlooper and Michael Bennet, voted against the measure. Though Hickenlooper, one of the most moderate Democrats in the Senate, says he understands why his caucus members voted alongside the GOP.
And I voted no just because I'm so off. I'm just frustrated.
They're doing what they feel is helping the most number of people, and they're not going to stop fighting to get those subsidies restored.
In a statement, Senator Bennet wrote in part, "We should reopen the government, but I refuse to do it at the expense of families who are simply trying to pay for health care." After the Senate, the legislation will need to pass through the House and get President Trump's signature before it becomes law.
So Chuck Schumer, Chucky boy, was big mad. I mean, when he realized that a lot of his Democrat colleagues were going to step over that picket line, he started chimping out about it. Want to see it? Here you go.
Premiums will spike by thousands of dollars a month. Millions will lose insurance. Democrats have sounded the alarm. We have demanded for months to meet with the Republican leadership. But Republican leaders refuse to even discuss the issue, let alone negotiate it. We've asked them to meet in the summer and throughout the shutdown. To this day, Republicans still say no. We asked President Trump to step in and meet with us to deliver lower health care for Americans, and instead, Donald Trump has taken the American people hostage, from cutting off food aid to hungry families and vets and seniors and kids, to manufacturing flight cancellations, to cutting off home heating aid, while he builds a billion-dollar ballroom with gold-plated toilets. Therefore, I must vote no. This health care crisis is so severe, so urgent, so devastating for families back home that I cannot in good faith support this CR that fails to address the health care crisis. But let me be clear, however this vote turns out, this fight will and must continue. Democrats must fight because of millions of families will lose health care coverage. We must fight because children who are dying of cancer will not get health care coverage. We must fight because a senior citizen cannot afford to pay $25,000 a year just for health insurance. We must fight to keep millions from financial ruin. And make no mistake about it, the American people know who is inflicting this health care trauma on them: Donald Trump and the Republicans. Americans will remember a Republican intransigence every time they make a sky-high payment on health insurance. So we are going to fight legislatively, fight back home, fight in the courts, and bring this fight in the elections. Healthcare costs made a major impact on the 2025 election, and they will certainly have an even greater impact on the 2026 election. So in conclusion, the contrast between the two parties is crystal clear. Republicans are the party hell-bent on taking people's health care away, all to bow to the billionaire elite and special interests. Democrats are united as the party of lower health care costs and improving our health care system. We will not give up this fight. We will deliver for the American people. I yield the floor.
Oh, God, the drama. Oh, the finger wagging. He is so full of it. But guess what? The liberals want Chucky out. They are tired of this man. Right? Breaking news, liberals are demanding Chuck Schumer immediately be ousted as minority leader and primary challenge by AOC. Dun, dun, dun. They are switching out the regular kind of like level-headed Democrats for the communists and the socialists. Ooh, not the squad taking over the Democrats. Oh, that's going to be so great for the Republicans. He is so cooked. Dude lost a grip on the quote unquote moderates of his party and has now pleased no one. Donald Trump politically pummeled him. Oh, yes, it is so delicious. So I started reading a lot of tweets, and I even went to Blue Sky, honey, as well as TikTok, and the Democrats are not happy about it. Like I said, I'm not going to make a long video. I could feel about 15, 20 demon rats are upset, but I decided to I think I only got 2 or 3 of them. And then I just got one guy who is just announcing it and giving you more insight in what this really means. Actually, in short, it's a nothing burger. I do believe the Democrats let the government be shut down for the New York, Virginia, and the Minnesota elections. That's all that is. There was no way we was going to have a Republican mayor, so that was going to always be blue. It was just do you want Mom Donnie or do you want Cuomo? That was the competition. I really wanted the black woman to win the governor in Virginia. But it is what it is. But hey, I don't want people to think that the Republicans are in trouble because blue seats were replaced by Democrats. All right. I don't know why people thought that New York is going to turn red or Minneapolis or Minnesota was going to turn red. That was not going to happen. But neither here nor there. Let's check out let's see what other Democrats are saying about this. And get your popcorn ready because this is going to be a doozy.
It looks like we have an end to the government shutdown. However, these are the 8 Democratic elected officials that sold you out. No affordable care tax credits right now. Democrats got nothing. Democrats got nothing except for a promise to discuss affordable health care tax credits in December. So, ladies and gentlemen, that means you will be paying double, triple your affordable care credits because you're enrolling now. It's already too late. You're enrolling now. The plans end December 31st. So here are the 8 Democrats who sold you down the river: Vermont, Arizona, Michigan, New Hampshire, and Wisconsin. If you have an elected official, a Democrat, that sold you down the river and got absolutely nothing, they got 0 for selling you down the river, drop your comments below, boost this post.
So it looks like we could be seeing the end of the government shutdown any moment now. Apparently there's enough Senate Democrats who agreed, came up with a deal with Republicans that they might be able to end it tonight, which is basically the end of the shutdown, making it the longest in history. Now here's kind of where things are at. The biggest thing that the Democrats have been fighting for is basically extending the Affordable Care Act, also known as Obamacare, subsidies to prevent healthcare premiums from rising. That's not part of this deal, but what is part of the deal, allegedly, is the fact that they're going to guarantee a vote on extending those subsidies come December. Now, if this goes through, and it sounds like it probably will, this will effectively fund the government through January, giving them a chance to take that vote. It will restore all SNAP benefits. It will restore air travel back to what it was with people being out there. Everything basically the way it was before the shutdown. Now, that means in January, we could be facing this exact situation again, but at least this buys some time, gets you through the holidays, gets people paid, and gets things kind of back to some semblance of normalcy. Anyways, once we have official confirmation this is passed, I'll be back on to give you guys an update. So, of course, make sure to hit that follow button if you don't already, and then drop your thoughts in the comments. Have you been affected by the shutdown?
This shutdown has been like Groundhog's Day, because every time Democrats have had every reason to believe that the public was behind them and that they were fighting for the right thing, they start searching to get what they really want, which is to surrender. They were about to surrender earlier last week, but then the party wanted to see how Tuesday's elections went. And of course, Democrats swept the board, giving them even more momentum to keep fighting. Regardless, now 10 Democratic senators signaled that they are going to vote to end the shutdown without any meaningful concessions, including on Obamacare subsidies. Instead, their big concession is that Republicans will agree to vote on Obamacare subsidies next month, which again means that they are not securing its passage before they vote to end the government shutdown. They are letting go all of their leverage. And let's be very clear about why they want to do that. They want to say that Republicans voted to end Obamacare subsidies, but then take none of the responsibility for their role in letting that happen. They're doing it for a campaign commercial.
Democrat senators are getting ready to sell out and tell 12 million Americans to screw off. Now, according to the Axios and The Hill, there are 10 Democrat senators. Shaheen from New Hampshire, Hassan from New Hampshire, Rawson from Nevada, Baldwin from Wisconsin, Kelly from Arizona, Ossoff from Georgia, Peters from Michigan, and Durbin from Illinois that are going to vote for the Republican funding bill after 40 days of the government shutdown. And it's infuriating because all of these senators have been on the side of we're not going to cave. And now because the airlines and corporations are complaining that they're losing money, these 10 senators are going to cave. And Ossoff in particular, one of my senators, is up for re-election in 2026. And it's considered to be a seat that the Republicans can flip, which is likely why he's voting for this, is to keep from it flipping. But now he's going to run the risk of being primaried in Georgia with a weaker candidate. And people are going to remember this, because 12 million Americans are going to be without health care. And they're doing this on the promise of John Thune, who has lied to them a dozen times already this year that he'll bring a health care bill to the Senate floor to be voted on, but he can't promise the outcome of that. And Mike Johnson said he would already block any vote on a health care bill in the House of Representatives, which means 12 million people are going to lose Affordable Care Act subsidies and access to semi-affordable health care in the United States. Why, after 40 days, cave for any other reason than getting what you wanted? Democrats aren't going to get what they wanted. These 10 are caving for the sake of caving and believing a Republican promise that will once again be broken.
Head to the airport, you can fly again. A deal has been reached, baby. Shutdown is over. The shutdown is over. Folks, the shutdown is over. The Senate agreed. It's all over. The country opens up again. Now, what do we learn from this? What we learn from this is people are broke. And if they miss one paycheck, they're in trouble. And that's probably 75% of the country. That if they miss one paycheck, they're in trouble. So the real people that really suffered in this were the poor workers, the TSA workers, the federal workers that didn't get paid. For 2 paychecks they didn't get. Think about not receiving 2 paychecks when your kids were young. It would have stressed me the hell out. So listen, I'm glad we're back open again. We could fly again. I'm probably flying to Chicago to cover the protest this week, so stand by. So I'm happy. But for some reason, I still think the airports are going to be packed. I still think, because some of these TSA agents are like, I'm called off sick, and I don't blame them.
And there you have it, taters. Well, that's the 411 in reference to the government shutdown. Demon rest mad, Republicans glad, and it's on to the next thing. But what do you think? Do you think it's going to go back to shutting down come January? I think in a way this is pretty smart, because we got Thanksgiving and we got Christmas coming up, and it would be terrible to have a government shutdown during those 2 holidays. So, January, after the first day, I think everybody would be okay. I don't think anybody would be upset if the government was shut down after New Year's Eve or even around Valentine's Day. But maybe that's just what I'm thinking. Let me know what you think by leaving a comment below this video. Don't forget to give me a like. And if you're new to my channel, subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Later, taters.